Hello and welcome to the Step 2 Adding Line Items video. In this video I will show you how to enter the accounting line items which contain the accounting details to a budget adjustment. Let's get started. I'm continuing from where we left off in the third video in this series, Step 1, Creating the Header. The header is complete and I'm ready to begin adding the accounting line items. To add a line item for the budget adjustment, I will click on the button with the green plus sign and the word New directly under the header. Hereafter I will refer to this as the Add New button. You can see that a row has been added beneath the toolbar. The first field in this row is the row number. Leave this field blank. It will autofill with row numbers as I save line items. The next 5 fields are elements of the FOPL accounting string. If you'd like to learn more about these terms, look up fund code, org code, account code, program code, and activity code in the FACTS glossary. The next field is fund. For budget adjustments, the fund will always be $100,000 as budget adjustments are only used for operating funds. All operating funds use $100,000 fund code. I'll use the Tab key on the keyboard to move to the next field. I can only enter an organizational code that I have financial access to. To see all of the organization codes that I have access to, I will leave the field blank, click on the magnifying glass. As you can see, I only have access to 2 organizational codes. If I know the organizational code, I can simply type it into the field. In this example, I will be transferring $100 from the finance office to the business office, so I will enter organizational code 498. I will tab over to the ACCT or account code field where I can enter the 6-digit account code. If I don't know the account code, I can leave it blank and click on the magnifying glass. This will open a complete list of account codes. I can also enter part of the account code and click Enter or the magnifying glass, and that section of the list will display. For this example, I will use 710000, which is the account code for office supplies. I have chosen this account code because I have determined that I have available budget in it to transfer out. To find a list of commonly used account codes, visit this web page. The next field is the program code. Leave this field blank as it will populate automatically when the line is saved. The field after that is the activity code field. This field is optional and is used in situations where your department requires fine-grained reporting by activity. For example, if you want to search for all expenses related to a conference regardless of the organizational or account codes. If I click on the activity code field and then click on the magnifying glass, I will see the complete list of activity codes. Only choose an activity code if you are certain that it is the right one. Otherwise, you could skew reports for that activity code. For this example, I will not use an activity code. The next 2 fields are employee and position, and they should both be left blank. I've tabbed through activity, employee, and position fields to arrive at the comments section. For this field, you can either copy and paste the description from the header or enter a specific description for each line. The last 2 fields are used to increase or decrease money from the budget of the organizational and account codes you've chosen. When you are new to budget adjustments, you may not know when to increase or when to decrease. Let's take a closer look. To increase the amount of money in an expense budget, enter a whole number under Increase Expense Budget. To reduce the amount of money in an expense budget, enter a whole number under Decrease Expense Budget. In this example, I am transferring $100 from Organizational Code 498, the Finance Office, so I will put the $100 under Decrease Expense Budget. To save the line, click on the antiquated floppy disk icon at the end of the line. Hereafter, I will call this the Save button. Once you've saved the line item, the program code will automatically be populated. Once I've completed the first line, I have two options. The first option: I don't have financial access to the organizational code needed to balance the budget transfer in a second line. This is often the case when transferring or receiving funds from another department. In this case, I will only enter the line with my organizational code. The message in the bottom right will say that the budget transfer is not balanced, but that's okay. A later video will show you how to send the transfer to another user for completion. The second option: if I do have financial access to the organizational code that will be used in the second line, then I can complete it myself to balance the budget transfer. In this example, I have financial access to both organizational codes required to balance the budget transfer, so I will proceed with the second option. To add a second line, I will click the Add New button. I will move quickly through the FOPL and comment fields. The fund code is always $100,000 for budget adjustment. The org for the business office is 482. The account for networking and reception costs is 716-800. I will tab through the activity code, employee and position fields. I will leave the comment as is. I am now ready to enter the amount to increase the business office's expense budget by. I will enter 100 in the Increase Expense Budget column. Once the budget adjustment is posted, the business office will have an additional $100 in their networking and reception budget. I will click on the Save button to save this line item. Once I do, the message in the bottom right-hand corner will turn green and indicate that the budget transfer has been balanced. For the purposes of this example, there are only two lines. However, when creating a budget adjustment, it is best to add as many as you can. Continue using the Add New button to add additional lines. The last comment I will make before we move on to the next video is that you can change any field in any line item using the mouse to click on the field. For example, I can change the amounts. I just have to remember to click the Save button at the end of the row. I have now completed entering the accounting line items for the budget adjustment. In the next video, I will explain the options in the menus. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please email any feedback to fax@carleton.ca.